Welcome to another edition of the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Zelia. And off this week is Emerito Rivera. He has been busy with work and some other different projects, so he will be back next week. So this week, because we missed our Monday spot, we have two shows this week, one dropping today, one dropping later in the week, both Impact Wrestling oriented. I promise you guys are going to like these shows. Today we have D-LoBrown, the former WWE star. He also wrestled with Impact, also had his own wrestling school, was an agent behind the scenes to help put together matches, and now a color commentator for Impact Wrestling. And we discussed his transition into being a color commentator, the difference between being in the ring and behind the table, and how that helps you become a better commentator, his relationship with Matt Striker, and we discussed Rebellion Impact's pay-per-view this upcoming Sunday. So this is a must-listen interview, and I think you guys are tired of listening to me talk. So let's check out D-LoBrown. All right, we're back here on the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast. Special guest this week, the new color man for Impact Wrestling, D-LoBrown. D-Lo, you've had quite a bit of equity, not only in the wrestling industry, but with Impact Wrestling. So I guess the first question I have for you is, this is the first time in many years you're now on camera with Impact, which was TNA. How does it feel back to be on an on-camera role for Impact?
It's a wonderful feeling to be back on camera, because that's probably the place I feel the most natural, place I've had the most experience in being in front of the camera. And now it's in a new role, not trying to get myself over, but now trying to help elevate our talent with my words and my voice. So it's fun. It's different, but I'm enjoying it every day.
Do you find it as a challenge, because Matt Striker was an analyst last time we saw him doing commentary on national television? So you guys are sort of two analysts doing commentary. Is it a little different for having two analysts, with one guy having to do the play-by-play and the other doing the analyst role?
It's not too difficult, because literally we're just two guys talking about the business we love. So it's very easy for us to flow together. And Matt is a wordsmith, and I let him lead. He's my quarterback, and I follow and try to keep up with him. So it's fun. It's an interesting challenge. It's one that we both embraced, and we're both trying to run with.
What has been your favorite part of doing commentaries thus far with Impact Wrestling, being able to call some matches? What has been your favorite time so far, and some of your most challenging?
Favorite time is just watching some of the great wrestling and getting a front row seat to calling it. You know, you can see like TJP and Josh Alexander go out there and pull off one of the classic wrestling matches of the last few years. And to have that front row seat, that best seat in the house right there for everybody, and to let everybody know what I think of it, is that's fun. Challenging is learning my rhythm. Like, I don't want to get too excited all the time. Like, I love what I'm seeing. So it's like, I have to contain that passion, that love for what I'm watching. So I've got to temper that without always being over the top at level 10. So those are some of the challenges. And also the extra studying, the learning the ins and outs of each individual wrestler. So I show them in the best possible light. So those are some of the challenges, but you know what? It's a challenge I accept, and it's fun. So I'm good with it.
Do you feel, because you've been in the ring and you've had success in the ring, and you understand, because you've also been an agent with Impact, being able to put matches together, that also helps you with your commentary?
Without a doubt, that helps me, because it's just another aspect of the wrestling business. So, drawing on all my other experiences, it allows me to sit behind the desk and, call what I see in a clean possible way. So everyone, I can narrate the vision you're seeing. So, it draws on all my past experiences to get out there and do this.
So let's talk about the upcoming card for Rebellion on Saturday night. Unprecedented, Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Versus Rich Swann, and for the Unification Championship, Impact Wrestling, AEW. This is a really big thing. Like, people are not understanding. This is the first time we've seen something like this in close to 40 or 50 years. What does it mean for you as a representative of Impact, knowing that the company is part of history like this?
It's pride. it's joy. It's feeling that Impact in AEW trying to do something that's new and fresh, and like you said, hasn't been seen in 40 or 50 years. And the thought of at the end of the night, one man is going to be a representative of two companies' world championships. That's in itself amazing to even say, let alone it's going to happen in front of us. I think this is a time when wrestling is being talked about again, and I think this is one of those matches that are piquing people's curiosity and getting them excited about wrestling again. And then you're going to have this classic wrestling match between two guys who can flat out just wrestle. So I use the line all the time. I have the best seat in the house, and I'm not going to move from my chair. and you're going to be hearing the voice of fanboy as I'm talking to you, because I'm just going to be having the time of my life.
Can you also talk about if you were a salesperson and you're trying to get fans to come to watch Impact Wrestling, how would you describe the Impact Wrestling product?
The Impact Wrestling product has something for everybody. If you like hardcore, we got hardcore. If you like lucha libre style, we've got that. If you like high flying, over the top rope elevation wrestling, we got that. And we've got some of the best, female talent this planet has seen. And then, oh, by the way, we're going to give you Kenny Omega, Rich Swann. I mean, to tell you Rebellion is going to be a show that's going to make you sit back and go, oh my God, that's what Rebellion is going to do. It's going to be 3 hours of just sit on the edge of your seat. I can't believe I've been missing on this product. I can't believe there's wrestling still like this out here.
Can you also talk about the special guest calling the championship match, Mauro Ranallo?
I am so looking forward to sitting next to Mauro. Like, I am like, if you thought the wrestling got me giddy, I'm going to be feet away from one of the most powerful voices in combat sports. And, I said it earlier this week, I'm looking forward to sitting under his learning tree. I'm going to take in as much as I can in the short amount of time I'm going to be with him. And trust me, he's going to get tired of me, because all day long he'll be like, hey, Mauro, let's you and I go sit down and go talk. Let's have a little powwow session. So I'm just to have that voice sitting at our desk, joining us for the main event is special in itself.
Can you also talk about, for you, would you consider this the most, I wouldn't say the most successful time of your career, but most enjoyable time?
It is enjoyable because it's deeper than just, being on TV or making money. It's helping teach. It's helping watch others reach their potential and knowing you have a small part in that. So yes, this is rewarding in more ways than I ever thought possible. And like, I wouldn't trade this time for anything else right now.
For you, who's been a performer as a wrestler, a performer as a commentator, and an agent backstage at Impact, you've worn many hats. What advice do you give to younger wrestlers who are trying to break into the industry?
Learn as much about this business as you can. Don't just focus on the wrestling, because yes, the wrestling is important, but there's 1,000 jobs in this business and only 2 of them are inside the ring, wrestler and referee. And there's a life that you can attain and you can get to after your in-ring days are over, and you can still give back to the business. You can still help that next generation. So learn as much as you can, learn as many hats, learn as many skills. It'll give you a long career.
Can we also real quick talk about the Rebellion celebration, the fan fest that's going on, during the weekend? Can you give us some more information on that?
Yeah, it's the easy thing is it's the most interactive event we have on our calendar, where we have ring used or ring worn merchandise for sale. You get to interact with several talent the day of the show. It is Impact giving back to the fans as well as allowing them to join in with us on this great celebration. So it's a great way to start off Rebellion Sunday.
Real quick, let's go over the card for this upcoming weekend. You have Kira and Tasha taking on Jordan Grace and a mystery opponent. Now, D-Lo, can you spoil? Do you know who it is? Can you give it to me?
I can tell you it's not me. That's
Okay.
what I can tell you.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, not for nothing. I don't want to see you and Jordan wearing matching outfits. It's just, personal preference for me. It's just not something I want to see.
Yeah, that wouldn't show me my best light. I guarantee you that.
We also have Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, James Storms, and Willie Mack versus Violent by Design, Eric Young, Diener, Joe Doring, and Rhino. What do you think of this one?
That one is going to be a war. I mean, you've got 8 guys who flat out don't like each other. You got 8 guys who can all wrestle. You got 8 guys who want to go out there and they want to be noticed on this show that's spotlighting wrestling. So I guarantee you're going to get something special out of that match.
We have in the last man standing match, Trey Mcgill versus Sammy Callahan.
Oh, the passion, the anger, the angst runs deep in this one. And Sammy is just as tough as they come. But, I'm finding I like the new Trey Mcgill and his little attitude and roughneck style. So I'm looking forward to watching this one. And this one's going to be a war.
Then we have Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. A lot of history here.
Yeah.
A lot of history here. Well, what do you think of this?
This is the culmination of a 20-year love-hate relationship. They seem to love to hate each other and hate to love each other. So I don't think they're going to take it easy on each other. I think they're going to just go right at it. Both guys have something to prove, and both guys are trying to step out of the other's shadow. So this one's going to be good.
Ace Austin versus Josh Alexander versus TJP in a 3-way match for the X Division Championship.
I will just simply say I think this could be match of the night. It could steal the show. I love watching any combination of these 3, let alone all 3 of them in the ring together. So this one, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to get my popcorn ready. I'm going to be watching it like everyone else, and I'm be enjoying it because I think this has the potential to be to be one of the great matches this year.
We have Deonna Perazo versus Neil Dashwood, singles match for the Impact Knockouts Championship.
Deonna, the consummate professional, and Neil, just the world traveling influencer. This is a great opportunity for Tenille finally getting a shot at the Knockouts title, and can she knock off the perch of Deonna off the perch of the throne there, because Deonna's been sitting on top of the mountain for a while now. So this one's going to be a good one.
We have Finn Juice versus the Good Brothers for the Tag Team Championship. I'll tell you, the Good Brothers been burning the candle on both ends recently. Could that work against them?
And I've mentioned that several times. It's they're entrepreneurs, they're creators, and they're wrestlers, but they've been they're wrestling on 2 different shows. They're traveling around the country. They're trying to promote their brand. Does that distract them? But then over the last couple weeks, I've seen them so focused. I've seen them get back to that look in their eye that they had when they first came to Impact. So I think the Good Brothers have something to prove, and they're going to try to do it early and often in this match.
And then we have the unification match for the Impact and AEW World Championship. Kenny Omega with Don Callis taking on Rich Swann.
There's nothing you can say about this match that would hype it up even more than it already is. I mean, you've got 2 men fighting for championships of 2 different companies. You've got 2 of the best wrestlers on the planet going at it. You've got a stage where the entire world is going to be watching. I think anything is possible in this match. The one thing I know is at the end of the night, 1 man is going to represent 2 companies, and that's just crazy to think, and I can't wait to watch it.
That's going to be the card, and we have the Fan Fest that weekend as well. You can go to impactwrestling.com for more details on everything. Hey, D-Lo, my last question. If I had to ask you for yourself, recommend something of yours for them to get to know you either as a performer in the ring or out of the ring, what would you recommend for them?
I would recommend, as a performer in the ring, looking up some of my Japan stuff, because I got to be a lot more of myself there and show a lot more of my wrestling ability as well as my my character side. My Japan stuff is some of the most fun I've had in the ring. So yeah, and what's old is now new again, because that stuff was not like today where you can just wake up at 3 a.m. and turn New Japan on. Back when I was there, you had to look it up, search it out. So that's some of the best stuff there is my Japan days.
That's D-LoBrown from Impact Wrestling. D-Lo, we're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday night at the announce table.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Looking forward to it. And if you give Impact one chance, let it be Rebellion, because you're never going to turn us off again.
Okay, so that was my one-on-one interview with D-LoBrown. Don't forget, Rebellion is this Sunday for Impact Wrestling. Go to impactwrestling.com for all of the information going for Rebellion and the Rebellion Celebration Fan Fest. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. With that being said, guys, give us a follow on YouTube and subscribe to all of our social networks and wherever podcasts are available. You'll be able to find us. Right now, we're on Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, everywhere. I'm just amazed on everywhere we are. And of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, Cut Wrestling BSP on Twitter, and of course, the Cut PW Podcast on Instagram. And of course, give our YouTube a follow. Thank you, Andrew Fumey, for making us look as good as we do. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. And with that being said, guys, thanks for giving us another opportunity to entertain you here on the Cut Pro Wrestling Podcast.